Hey guys, what's up? Shin0525 here. Beat another game on my New Year's resolution list. I almost forgot the word. And that game being Trials of Cold Steel, or Trails of Cold Steel. I always say Trials. Trails of Cold Steel 2 specifically. I beat 1 before I made my New Year's resolution list, but I finally beat the second game, and it was on PlayStation Vita, and goddamn, so basically it took me like 70 hours to beat the second game, and it took me 70 hours to beat the first game as well. And I kind of want to talk about both of them because they are direct sequels. So basically a good way to think about it is like if this was a PlayStation 1 game, the first game would be disc 1 and the second game would be disc 2. That's kind of how close they are together. But super great game. Honestly, these are the first 2 games I played in the Legend of Heroes series, and if they are all as good as Cold Steel, I need to play all of them then. It was super, like, I was super shocked at how good those games are. They're just really good. It just has a really good story, a really good world, like really fleshed out world too. It honestly feels like it's a world with like actual like history and like things about it. Like it feels real is what I'm trying to say. And like it has great characters. I was actually really surprised at how good the characters are in this game because there's a lot of them because you're in like a classroom. It's very similar to like Persona in that way. You have like a classroom type setting. You even have like bonding events. They're kind of like social links. I think they even call them links in the game as well. And but overall, like I won't go into like spoilers or like super detail, but like out of all the RPG games I've played, this has one of the best stories, hands down. And if all the other like Legend of Hero games are at like that quality, I need to play them. I just need to play them. So yeah, but I was saying before, I'm not really built to play like long, like 70-hour games. It takes me forever. So, for example, I got the first game, I think the first year it came out, and then I got the second game the day it came out, and it took me from then to now to actually finish them. And I've been playing them on and off, and the thing like with me is like playing like longer like games like that, like the 70-hour ones, is like I'll play it for like 10 to 15 hours, like I'll put 10 to 15 hours in, like throughout like a couple weeks. I'll put the game down and then I won't play it for a year. I'm really bad at that. So it was a real like Herculean task of actually beating those 2 games, but I enjoyed every second of them. Again, like the best way I can kind of put it is like these games remind me why I like RPGs so much. Like that's how good they are. So like the story's great. The characters are great. The world's really like interesting too. Like it feels like very real and very like lived in. And it's a big like military-esque story. So yeah, no, it's just super good. I will say there are a few things I don't like about the game. One, it does this thing that I absolutely hate any game doing, any RPG doing this. They have hidden side quests. So basically the way the game structures it is like when you have like a free day, they kind of give you like side quests, but what they do is like they list them out and then they give you like a list of side quests you can do, and then they have some that are required that you need to do and they say required, and then some that are optional. I did all of them. I did all the ones that the game presented me. But if you're not using a guide, there are hidden side quests that they still kind of like rank you on and like are completely missable, and I hate that shit. Like if you're gonna go to the effort of like already making a list for some of the side quests, just put them all on there. Like what the hell? So I did like none of the optional ones, unfortunately. And then so yeah, I hate just any time an RPG does that where it's like they have missable hidden like side quests. Like I hate it. I hate it. Just let me know it is a thing. So that annoyed me. The second thing that annoyed me is the difficulty. So generally for the game, it's not too hard. Like the normal enemies and like just overall, the game's not very difficult until you get to the boss fights. When you get to the boss fights, they are the most overpowered pieces of shit. And I think the game developers knew it. Because this is the only game that I've actually seen this. I don't know if this is common in like other RPGs. But in this game, if you die, like if you lose a battle, you can either retry the battle, load a save, or restart the battle with weaker enemies. And I think they put that in on purpose because they knew they made the boss fights way too fucking hard. So like, for example, the last boss of the second game, one of his phases, and I checked this on the guide before I started, the recommended level was like 125. My characters were level 130. I still got one-shotted on the first fucking turn. That's ridiculous. So again, being 5 levels above what the guide recommended me, bullshit. So basically, a lot of the boss fights, what I just do is I'd start them out, I'd die like 3 or 4 times, and then restart and weaken them each time, and then the boss felt like a boss. Like after you weaken them like 3 or 4 times, then it felt like a fair boss fight where you're not getting one shot. You still had to like use all like your like some strategies and stuff like that. But like it was much more fair after that. So that was like really annoying. But luckily they put that in where you can weaken the enemies. And I have to say, if they did not do that, I probably would never have beaten the game. It would have been too difficult. Like, and it's like every single boss. It's not like a few that are just like a huge difficulty spike. Like every single boss encounter will fucking kill you. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that was a complaint. And my only other complaint is the second game, the ending drags on way too long. Basically, there's like, the last dungeon's called like the Infernal Castle, but it's not even like the last dungeon, but it's like the last, like, story relevant place. And it's like, it's where the game should end, and like it kind of sets up like it ends there. But then it just goes on for another 10 hours after that, which I found was like really like, wow. Because again, it like sets it up like this is the final boss, this is it. And then you beat it and it feels final. And then the game just keeps going on for like this Occupation of Crossbell chapter. And this, and like the epilogue, it's like another 10 hours. And I was like, this should, like that, those sections should have been cut down a lot. Like a lot. But other than that, I thought it was a fantastic game. If you have never played Cold Steel, definitely recommend it. And I do recommend you have to play them in order. So you have to play Cold Steel 1 before playing 2, because it's like like you need to play the first game before playing the second game. And what I liked about it is like Cold Steel I think is a good entry point, because I don't feel like I got spoiled on any of the other games. But even in the second game, there's actually a cool part where you actually do play as a character from another game in the series. I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, that was pretty cool. Again, it happens like in the ending, so like after that like ending. So it kind of felt like, why is this in this game? You should have done this sooner and not like after the final boss. Like, I don't know. Again, the ending really kind of, I thought it went on way too long. But other than that, I am so happy I get to cross this one off the list. So yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts on the Cold Steel 1 and 2. I might actually make a video of talking about it, because like honestly, it is probably one of the best like turn-based RPGs I've like of recent like era of gaming. Like it's one of those RPGs that reminded me why I like RPGs so much. So yeah, anyway guys, just want to make that update. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and I will see you guys for the next one. Okay, thanks, bye, later.